This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is Investor Schooling Live with your host, Larry Steinhaus, CEO of Investor Schooling.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Investor Schooling Live. Hey, Investor Schooling Live is transmitting from the Investor Schooling Studios right here at Investor Schooling headquarters. I am Larry Steinhaus. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. I want to thank you for listening, and I want you to get ready to learn real estate investing, stock options trading, and so many other things about money I bet you don't even know. Hey, you can call me anytime during the show with your questions at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. I know all you guys have been waiting 2 weeks to ask me questions because we were away last week. So you can call me right now at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. That's right. We're a live program, and you can call anytime during the show. We'll take your calls. Don't worry about the topic. We'll take your calls about anything that has to do with money, finances, or even politics if you want. We're also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, and you can leave comments there as well. And by the way, if you're watching online, please say hi so I know you're watching. Michael already said hi. Thank you so much. At Investor Schooling, we teach real estate investing, stock options trading, how to save money and taxes, how to be financially free, and we even give you the motivation to make money work for you instead of you working for money. Investor Schooling is located in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, right off the Newtown Bypass, serving the New Jersey and greater Philadelphia areas in a real brick-and-mortar building. Our students are also located in several states with our exclusive web access to our classes and seminars. Get ready to learn something new. Get ready to learn the business of entrepreneurship, real estate investing, stock options trading, and you get to learn it from your friendly neighborhood financial expert. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhaus. And guess who I got with me today? I got Dr. Deb with me again today.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
I like it when Dr. Deb's here. You know why?
Why is that?
Because it gives me somebody to talk to.
I know. It's much better when there's somebody.
It's more fun when it's two people.
Fun.
Yeah. And even Glenn, hi, Glenn. Say hi.
See, Glenn's not even listening to you anymore.
I know. Glenn doesn't even pay attention to me. So for you guys who don't know, Glenn is the producer over at WPHT. And when you call at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. Glenn will pick up the call and he will put you right through, and he will tell you, and he will talk to you. We'll talk to you about anything you want. So let's catch up. So 2 weeks ago we had Ellen, we had Audrey Ellen Brody in here, right?
Yeah,
and
she was really sweet. She was really nice.
She was
really nice.
Yeah, and we had a really good time, and then we repeated that last week because you and I were in California.
Yep.
At the Best You Expo.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. So I was doing a presentation in a room that was so large that you didn't even know there was anybody in the room.
I don't even know. I don't know how I should respond to that. I don't know if you want to give the details to that or if you want to just let it go. I'm not sure how to respond to that.
So the response to that was, or the reality was, just for you guys to know, because we're joking a little bit. The reality was we actually. we went to this thing and it was great, but there was nobody there.
Yeah, there was nobody there, which meant really long days just kind of hanging out and waiting around. So
it was but we did all right. It was kind of fun. We had a good time there. We went out to dinner. We hung out with some people. We went to the gala. That was fun.
Yeah, the gala was a lot of fun.
There was a charity gala, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. So it is what it is. Like life happens, but we had some fun.
It was neat meeting the guy who was the inspiration for Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
That guy, Lee Steinberg or something?
Yes, I believe it's Steinberg, yeah.
Yeah, and that was really cool. That's something you don't see.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was talking to somebody, I read her book, and I went up to her just to say, hey, I read your book, I thought it was great. And I ended up talking to her husband. I should say he was talking to me for a good 20 minutes. And very nice guy, but he was just going on and on about the East Coast and the mob and all kinds of weird stuff. That was kind of interesting.
It was called the Best You Conference or Best You Expo, and it was supposed to be some. I mean, it's funny. There were great speakers there, but there was no audience for us. So we became the audience for the speakers. And we cheered each other on. So we really had a good time, even though unfortunately it wasn't. I got an award too. I got a leadership award from the Los Angeles Inquirer. I can't remember which paper it was, but that's fine.
Yeah, that was nice.
Anyway,
was nice.
so real quick, we got Bob on the phone. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, Larry. Best thing I ever did was read your book.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I got into Brent Kessler's insurance, Bank on Yourself.
That's
Awesome.
great. That's
And
great.
since September of this past September, I've taken out $175,000.
Hey,
That's great.
you want to lend me some money?
You know, I'm actually looking at the private money club. That's going to be my next step.
Sure.
So I own 3 houses, one in Florida and 2 in New Jersey,
Okay.
and the goal is to retire, to Florida. I formed an LLC over around August of last year,
Okay.
a property management company to fund my houses, and I was going to buy a house in Florida, another house, and rent it out, but the deal blew out. So I haven't done anything. I haven't made any money with this LLC. However, I did get 3 credit cards in the name of the LLC.
Good for you. That's
Hey, Bob, are you a
fantastic.
student? Are you a student already?
That's fantastic.
Are you a
Like
student?
I said, man, I read your book.
Hey, you're not even
I
a
read
student.
your book several times.
No, I'm not going to
Not
give
even
you
a
any more
student,
free
buddy.
advice.
That's great. That's great. You're doing fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, usually I hear this from students. 3 or 4 months into being a student, they're saying exactly the things that you just said, and it's funny that you got it from my book. Nobody, listen, the book's not for sale anymore. I just stopped selling the book as of 5 minutes ago. You have to come to the school. You can't buy the book. My book is called Money Hacks. You can't buy it. Don't go to Amazon and buy it. But I'm impressed, Bob. That's pretty good.
I bought the e-edition before it even printed.
Oh, so the
man, 'cause I listened to your
$10
radio
one.
show.
Hey, Deb, I made $2.50 from this guy so far.
I didn't even know that they had an
Yeah,
e-edition.
so
See that?
I made $2.50 from this guy, and everybody else around me is making money that I suggested in the book. Isn't that lovely?
I think you need to put it on Audible or the other one
I
because
think I need to charge $100,000 for it.
you should kind of maybe charge $50 for it at least, so at least you get some money back for it.
It's okay, Bob.
So,
We're having fun
can
here.
Can I deduct any of that stuff?
What do you want to
that I
deduct?
put into the house?
What do you want to deduct?
Well, I'm redoing the Florida house.
Okay.
Um,
So is your
and,
Florida house a rental property,
I
or
love-
is it a property for you to live in?
well, nobody's in it right now. My in-laws lived in it till we started the construction on it.
Did they pay you rent?
So it's kind of a gray area.
Did they pay you rent?
No, I let
Okay.
the father-in-law cut the grass and mom cleaned the pool, and that was it.
All right. So here's the deal. So if you have an investment property and you're putting money into it, whatever the case may be, if it's costing you whatever, you can. And again, as I always say, I'm not an accountant, I'm not an attorney, but I have a pretty good knowledge of this stuff. If you are renting it out and you're making an income, you can take deductions against that income. So if you have a ice cream store and you're making money in the ice cream store and your rental properties aren't making any money, you can't take the deductions from the rental properties and deduct them off the ice cream store income. You get it?
Right.
But it's okay because you can save these deductions for later.
Right.
So that'd be fine for you. So now you have your LLC. What are you trying to accomplish with your LLC? Just own properties in it?
Well, I guess I'm a teacher in New Jersey, and after I retire, I would like to go to Florida and get into real estate investing.
Isn't that great that everybody
way.
they're teachers in New Jersey and they get all their they get their retirement income from New Jersey and they take that retirement income and go to Florida
They go somewhere else, yeah.
because in New Jersey you can't live there because the taxes are too high.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
They're insane.
Yeah, you would think they would want to keep the money in Jersey by lowering the taxes and giving you incentive to stay, but no, they won't do that.
No.
That's what happens when you
Driving me
got
out.
that's what happens when you got governors like Murphy.
Yeah, but you're going to keep your houses in New Jersey, right? Because I think if you sell them, you have to do an exit tax, don't you? Isn't there the exit
Yeah,
tax
I'm
now when
going
you
to
sell?
keep at least one of them.
Okay.
Going to keep at least one of them. The one I'm renting out to my daughter and son-in-law right now.
Okay, good. And are you charging them rent?
Yes, I am.
Good. So you say daughter and son-in-law?
Charging them basically what it costs me.
Okay, great. Are they paying
charging
on
them
time?
What it cost me.
Are they paying on time?
They are.
Oh, good. And
They
if they don't, can you evict them?
Probably not. I mean, I could, but
It's all right.
I wouldn't. Well, I don't
This
think
is
I
why.
have to worry about that
This is why I always tell
because
people
first
not to rent a family.
Yeah.
Because the first question is, can you evict
Right.
the person? If the answer is no, don't rent to them.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know, your family sounds like it's pretty tight, so I wouldn't worry about it. But these are some things. But Bob, I'm
Yeah.
I'm so impressed that you've done everything I've told you to do, and you have even come in one time to Investor School just to shake my hand and thank me.
Yeah, I've got to get there. That's always been on my list. In fact, I even signed up once, but then my wife got sick and I had to stay home with her.
All right. So I'm assuming she's better now.
She is. I got to get down there.
Oh yeah. Do you know where to be Thursday night at 7:00?
Not this Thursday night.
Oh, I see. I don't know.
I've got parent-teacher conferences.
You got
Our parent-teacher conferences.
student-teacher conference. All right,
Yeah,
whatever. That's fine. I
parent-teacher
got you.
conferences,
Yeah,
yeah.
parents not. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess you'll have to be here next time. But we look forward to meeting you. And I appreciate
Yeah,
all
I'd
the
definitely like
good.
to
I
meet
appreciate
you.
all the good words, man. I really do.
Thank you.
All right, Bob. So if you need anything else, give us a ring and come see us. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, Deb. What do we want to talk about next? Why don't we talk about your property?
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it.
Well, we
I
don't
just
have
knew.
to go there.
No, that's fine.
I know. So
So I got it.
Yeah.
I went yesterday, and I got. So for those of you that don't know, I have a duplex that's finally finished, and I have a quad that I'm in the process of rehabbing. So one plumber kind of blew me off yesterday because we were getting some snow up there, so he didn't want to go. But another plumber came out, and it turns out that he also does electrical. He does drywall. I mean, it sounds like he's a general contractor and does everything. Who knows? Whatever. So he was going to give me an estimate. So we'll see what happens. He's coming back up tomorrow morning because I'm going to go back up tomorrow morning with his electrical guy so I can get a sense of what's going to be involved there. But I did get the bottom of the duplex rented out. So I have that all squared away. So I'm going to go back tomorrow morning to see if I can rent out the top half because I really need to get these places rented out. And actually, that's a question I wanted to ask you about because some of the people who are coming in, they come in with like a low credit score. So then I say, okay, I would want a second security.
sure.
And then they back out.
That's a question.
Well, yeah, I guess because shut up. So
You're done.
well, no, because like I have people who are interested, and then they tell me that their credit score is,
Right.
560, and then I'm like, well, what's your whoever you want to move in with? What? Oh, theirs is bad too, or I don't have credit, or I'm not established, or we're just getting started, And I ask for the second security, and then they're like, whatever, and then they walk away.
All right. So it's better to have an empty unit than renting it to somebody who's really bad as a tenant.
I know.
And
It's
that's
just,
a major lesson. You. I mean,
and I haven't rented it out to
Right,
any of them
right.
because they won't do it, and it's just frustrating. But it's like, and I know you have said that to me before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still frustrating because I would really like to get this unit rented and just be done with it.
Of course you would. I mean, everybody wants the unit rented, right? I have two coming up that are going to be empty. So I've actually discovered I have so many properties that at this point, once a month, someone's leaving.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty. Or once a month or once every other month, people leaving
Okay.
because it just flows. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
just
just-
happens. I
it
have
just
people who've
happens.
been there for 7-8 years, and then I have people who stay for 1 year. Unfortunately, so it is what it is. Matter of fact, so it's really funny that you say that. Just real quick, I'll ask you a question, but it reminded me of something. I hate people with 750 credit scores. If I rent to somebody with a 750 credit score,
Yeah, they're going to leave and
they're
go
going to
somewhere
leave in a
else.
year. Exactly. They're there for one reason. They're there to fill a temporary need before they either buy a house or until they figure out what they're doing, and that's the problem.
I understand that, but with a credit score of 540, I
Yeah,
think
you can't rent to them. Right.
right. I would want a second security just to
I
protect
might even
myself.
want 6 months in advance, but they don't have it.
No, they don't have
That's why
it.
their credit score is 540.
Right.
And so now you just have to keep trying to find people. Now you're in an area that's very poor, and it's an area that's poor, and it's also in an area that there's no work there.
Well, there's a bunch of warehouses there. A lot of the people who
Right.
are coming in work at warehouses.
and that's
that are in
it,
there.
right? So they work in warehouses, or some of them travel to New York.
Or they retail, like they are in some
Right.
Joe Blow
Well,
retail
that's what I
store.
mean.
Yeah.
So it's all low paying jobs. You might want to consider. I know we talked about it before, but you might want to consider doing Section 8 with these people. It might be the better play.
I reached out to the Section 8 Housing Authority in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and I left 2 messages, and I wrote an email, and I have not heard any kind of response from them yet, which I thought would be weird because I'm sure that they're looking for landlords who'd be willing.
They're not.
Oh, they're not?
It doesn't work that way. So how Section 8 works is the tenant finds the property,
Okay.
and then the landlord connects to Section 8 and has it all done. So you might want to put in your Section 8, Section 8, welcome, Section 8 welcome, just to see what happens.
Okay.
Because the nice thing about it is, look, you're gonna own 6 units in that area. You have plans of building 4 more.
Yeah.
You might want to learn how the Section 8 system up there works, and it won't take long. I mean, there are people a lot dumber than you who know how to do it. What?
It's so nice that it's so nice, Larry, that you insult me nicely. Isn't that nice? I think that's why I work for you, just so you can insult me nicely. Because
we heard Glenn's back, right?
now Glenn's talking. But yeah,
Really?
you like to insult me in a
Hey, Glenn,
nice way.
there's a lot dumber people than you making a lot of money in real estate too.
Yeah. So okay.
No one's
Yeah.
dumber than me.
Okay.
I
Okay.
find that hard to believe. You know how to push the right button and turn the show on.
Well, at least you
I'm
show
a
up.
monkey,
So
you're doing it.
at least you show up, Glenn. That's half the battle.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so that might be a good thing for you to learn it. So put down Section 8 welcome
All right.
in your ads and see what happens. Now, how are you advertising this? You're advertising this on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're getting lots of responses?
I'm getting a lot of responses. I get maybe a quarter of them who actually call when I tell them
Yeah,
to
that's
call.
fine. Yeah. They're not serious if they don't call you.
Yeah. Or they'll ask me questions that I'll just be like, call me.
Yeah, right.
Here's my number. Call me.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
and then I
this-
get a couple people who are in Spanish. So I have these conversations I'm slowly working on getting back into my Spanish. So that's always an interesting conversation.
Okay. So I always have a tough time with Spanish-speaking tenants
Why is that?
because I can't talk to them.
Okay. So I can.
Okay. You know
Okay.
Spanish?
Yeah. My parents were from South America. So
Really?
I understand pretty well.
Do you really?
But my,
Good for you.
see that? All these things about me you didn't know. Whatever.
La-di-da.
I know. You've known me for how long and you didn't know that?
I know you speak Spanish.
Yeah. So I can get by okay.
Okay, good.
And I can understand them pretty well. And then I can speak so.
No, that's great. So I mean, it's just it opens the door for more tenants for you.
Right. I was having conversations in Spanish with some of these people.
Cool. I like it.
So
Excellent.
we'll see what happens. I don't know. So I'm going back up tomorrow. So I
Right.
have the plumber and the electrician coming back up tomorrow at
All right,
8.
so I want to talk about your repair. Hold on one second.
All right.
I just want to give the phone number again. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. You can call us about anything, this topic or any other topic you want. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. All right, so real quick, so I want to talk about the whole experience for you, and here's why, because it's actually really great. The experience is really great. So what you did was you bought a property, you paid very little money for it,
Yeah.
and it was a 2-family house. And in the back there was like a wrecked building, and you're rebuilding it, so it's going to end up being 6 units,
Yep.
which is fabulous. All right, and then we had a discussion at the beginning. I said, hey, it's too far. You're going to have some trouble with that, which is fine because you did have those troubles.
Yeah.
But here's the other trouble that you had, and it's very common because this is the first time you've ever done a major renovation.
Yep.
You've done kitchens, you've done bathrooms, you painted, but you've never done a major renovation before.
Right.
And one of the lessons that everyone's going to learn when they do a major renovation, I'm talking major, like there were no walls, there was no heating, there was no electric, there was no plumbing. That's what I'm talking about when I say a major renovation. So Debbie hired the local yokel contractor, or not even a contractor, was a handyman, and he promised he could do it. And clearly he was so far over his head from day one.
Yeah.
And then you had trouble with that because you're a nice person, and you want to be nice. Oh, I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. And the reality was he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you look at the quote he gave you, you realize the quote he gave you was so ridiculously low. No one can do it, right? So now you're stepping up, and you're going, oh, you know what? This is serious stuff.
Yeah.
This is a lot of money that I've wasted, a lot of time I've wasted, and now you're stepping up into serious land, which is really good because it's a lesson, and it's a lesson for everyone out there. If you're thinking about getting into this business, the business is not hard. The real problem with this business is the fact that you need to decide you're serious. Now, you took a major step going from a couple of little projects to a major renovation.
It's a major renovation.
So you weren't experienced at it, and that's not unusual.
Yeah.
But the cool part is now you are. The next one, you're going to be much more experienced. So you had this guy who said he was going to do. I don't remember how much he was going to do it for, and you thought that it was all going to get done, and now you have the heater, the plumber, and you have the electrician coming in, and these are numbers that are higher. When you add these two numbers up, they're higher than the guy gave you
Probably.
for the whole unit.
I'm sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Which now goes to show you that, hey, maybe those numbers were unrealistic.
So I got, actually I have to check my email. I haven't looked yet, but I got estimates from one electrician, but he can't start for another month, which is not really
That's
great.
rough, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm waiting to hear from that plumber and electrician who are coming tomorrow. And then I have another plumber who's coming next Thursday to get another estimate. And then I had another plumber who was in, I don't know, last week I was telling you about, because he gave me an estimate of 50 grand, and then he got home and all of a sudden it was like 65. And I'm like, what happened? So, so I'm definitely learning a lot. And I have to say, it's been a little bit of a stress.
No, I mean, I see you. Sometimes you come in, you're like, you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's
and
a
that's
lot.
okay. Like, that happens with everything. There are times when I do too. I'm going through some major growing pains in investor schooling. As you know, we're advancing. We're trying to go national. So it's a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
It's similar. It's not. I say it's similar to what you've gone through, but it's probably not as painful for me as it is for you in this circumstance, because I've attempted these things before, so I have some of the idea. Plus, I have lots of coaches helping me. I'm helping you too, and at the same time, you're kind of like everybody else I coach. Listen, Deb, this is what you should do. I'm gonna do it my way anyway.
That's not necessarily true, by the way. You always say that, and that's not always true.
Well, it has some truth to it, but that's okay. You're gonna get it's gonna get better. Now the cool part is you're over the hump. Now you know.
You keep saying that to me. Yeah.
Because you're over the hump. Now you're going to you're going to do the electric, you're going to do the plumbing, you're going to tighten up the walls, and you're going to start to rent it, and you're going to start to make some money, and you can either sell it or keep it. I would highly recommend you keep it at this point.
I'm not, with all the stuff I've gone through with this,
Right.
I am not selling this place.
Right. It's a feather in your cap. And 2 years from now, these are going to be great stories. Right now it's frustrating, but 2 years from now it's going to be great stories how you persevered and made this happen. That's going to be great for the students. We're going to tell the students about it.
I just want to put out for the record that Larry has been telling me to sell this place for like 6 months.
No. At the beginning, I wanted you to sell it.
Yeah, you
and
wanted
the
me to
reason
sell
was
this.
because it was too far away, and I thought you were in over your head. And both of those things are true. They're still true.
Okay.
However, now you're over the hump.
Okay.
So now you've gotten used to going there once or twice a month, right?
Week.
Or 3 to 4 times a month, right?
Yeah. Right now I'm going two or three times a week.
Right. Oh, that's no good either. But that's going to stop soon. And now you fully understand what you have to spend to do it, and you're doing it. So pretty soon you're going to have to go there once every 2 months, once every 3 months, just to take a look at your property, make sure that it's still there, that nobody burned it down, and forgot to tell you. But most likely that's not going to be a problem. Yeah. So you're over the hump. You might as well keep going at this point.
All right.
But yeah, you could. I mean, if you could have made $100,000, I don't think it would have made $100,000. But if you could have made $100,000 4 or 5 months ago before you started, you take it. In this case, now I think your long-term investment is a much better investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Reach, I want to say hello to a couple people online. We got Michael saying hi. We got Ken saying hi. We got Glenn saying hi. And Glenn
Deb has.
Glenn said, you have to go the whole backstory.
No, it's a
I
different
can say
Glenn.
hi.
It's a
It's
different Glenn.
It's a
Different Glenn.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Glenn is my go-to for Philly. I
Yeah.
always ask him
Yeah.
questions, and he always helps me out. Thank you, Glenn. I love you.
So Glenn is a student here who has a lot of knowledge of townships and how the townships work, and he's been a big help for a lot of things. All right, everybody out there, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. Hey, I don't understand this. We had a mild winter up until March.
Yeah.
What's going on? I go outside today. I'm freezing, and I can't wait to go outside. I got my Jaguar finally running, and yeah, forgive that. So I buy like weird cars. So I bought a Jaguar XJS, which is a 12-cylinder Jaguar, 1989, and it's really cool looking. It's in great shape, except it didn't run. So I had the thing for like 7 or 8 months, bringing it to different places and I finally found a guy who knew how to fix it. He fixed it, got it running, and the whole time I had it, it was in my warehouse, it was in the shops, it was protected from the weather. So I pick it up. The day I pick it up, I drive it to the office,
And it
and
snows.
what happens? It snows.
That's great.
Not only does it snow, right? Now, remember, the first time I'm ever driving this car, I got to drive it home in the dark, in the snow. It's got a low visibility already. And the other thing that was wild is the dashboard lights didn't work.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was really tough. I'm really happy that the windshield wipers worked.
Oh, wow.
Or I would have been calling you, say, taking me home. But that was crazy. It was one of those crazy things where I finally get this car running, and now it's in my driveway ever since I got it home because I didn't clean it. So now it's raining and snowing on it. So now that it runs, it's getting all garbage on it, and before it didn't. So it's just don't you feel sorry for me that I buy a Jaguar because I have so much extra money?
So when I went up to go visit my property, and I went up in my fluorescent yellow Jeep.
Yes.
And then it was snowing up there, so I had salt and all kinds of dirt and grime on it. And I got home and I got it washed at the car wash, and now it's nice and fluorescent yellow again because
Yeah.
it was muted,
Right.
because now it's nice and fluorescent yellow. You could see it shining everywhere now.
So if you're ever coming to Investor Schooling and you're on Route 95, you can see a glow coming from Langhorne. That's Deb's car.
That's my car.
That's
yeah.
her car. So if you ever come here, you will know. First of all, the license plate is Dr. Deb. But besides that, you'll see. If you ever come here, you'll actually see the car we're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's really, really funny. All right. So if anybody wants to call in about anything, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. I'm actually surprised people aren't calling about Silicon Valley Bank and what they think and what I think the economy is going to happen because you know what happened in Silicon Valley Bank?
I think I read something
Yeah.
of that. Like there was something on the news on it.
Bank
the other
run,
day.
bank closed. This
Okay.
hasn't happened since 2008,
Oh, okay.
and it's kind of crazy. But we'll see if anybody wants to know. If you want to know about it, call me because if you want to know about the economy, call me. We're going to go to commercial in a couple of minutes anyway. But 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. We'll take your calls about anything, stock market, the real estate market, or anything else. You know what, Glenn? Take us to a commercial. We'll come back and we'll talk about it. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you afraid of the great
All right, you're clear.
apply to those who own real assets and
I think a lot of people haven't heard about that thing yet.
estate, gold,
Yeah, you're gonna
silver,
need to.
and other.
I know. You would think it would be bigger news.
Yeah, I agree. We even teach you how to pay thousands less.
Could we just boost Deb's mic just a little bit?
No.
She's
I don't wanna
going
hear
back
that.
into her. She's going back into her.
Oh, is she?
I'm going back into my shell. Okay.
All right.
No, not really. Just needs a little more.
All right, I boosted her.
All right. I'm just bummed out. Nobody's saying hello to me online. Everybody always says hello to me. Maybe nobody's listening today.
I know, really.
Yeah, everybody.
Hey,
always-
listen,
they usually ignore
we're
you,
still
but they
live
say,
on Facebook. So, for all you guys,
yeah, if you're not here,
you know, if
say
you're
hello
hearing
to me.
Dr. Deb, say hi.
And you can pre-order this book.
By the way, I was taking a call. If you guys were talking to me, I heard you say something about that I wasn't there. I was probably taking a call.
Wherever
That's
books
fine.
are
Whatever.
sold, and come see
Okay.
me at.
Wow. Yeah, whatever, Glenn.
Yeah, whatever.
Are you tired of being
She is turning into Phil.
to school?
I know, really.
Turning into Phil.
I didn't say whatever. He said whatever. I always want you to be there, Glenn. I always want you to be there.
And sign up for a complimentary class.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, you can call us
I'm
at
letting this stuff feed out to
215-876-3002.
Oh, wait, I got a call. Got a call.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
there you go.
0002.
Go get the call.
Go to
Do your job.
investorschooling.com, sign up for this Thursday, and learn how not to be broke.
Crazy.
Investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz from Investor Schooling, and I'm so excited when our students do well.
All right, you got 20 seconds here. Do you need more time?
No, I'm fine.
All right. I'm going to be taking the caller info, and then I'll put it in your little
You got
Facebook
it.
window there.
Closed on a refi, and I wrote myself a check out for $118,000.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. And if you want to find out more about Investor Schooling,
Joe,
go to
thanks for reaching out to
investorschooling.com,
me.
and we will see you
I
Thursday
appreciate
night,
it.
and we will help you any way we can.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to, hey, Investor Schooling Live. We are here. We're talking about money. We're talking about finances. We're talking about real estate. And, of course, now you can say hi to Joe. Go ahead, Deb.
Hi, Joe. Thanks so much for saying
Now
hello.
at least you can hear you.
I was just saying that I'm bummed out. Nobody's saying hello to me. Everybody always says
I know,
hello
so,
to
that's
me.
what, so Joe waited before he waited for you to complain just before he said, oh, hi
There
to
you go. Yeah, I like to complain. It's more fun that way.
Isn't that nice of him?
I get more action that way if I complain.
Yeah,
Awesome
right,
show.
Exactly. I'm pushing all these buttons on the Facebook Live. I can't find. Oh, there it is. Okay, there I got it. Okay, all right. So there you go. All right. So Joe says it's an awesome show. It is an awesome show. It's always an awesome show.
It's
We're
even
awesome.
better when I'm on.
It's always better when you're
It's
on.
always better when I'm
That's
on.
why I don't even want to do the show anymore. You just do it every week. No
There you
problem.
go. Yeah,
We'll
it's
do
no
like-
fun. I don't want to do it by myself, though. A couple times you've asked
We'll
me.
do
I don't
like
want to do it
Rick
by myself.
Gettleman. He gave it over to Soledad O'Brien, and she does all the stuff. So now I can give it all to you.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
now?
some other guy who does financial show.
Oh, okay.
His financial show is boring.
Oh,
Our financial
ours
show
is more
exciting.
fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get a call from Susan, right, Glenn, on that one? All right. So where were we? We were talking about Silicon Valley Bank.
Okay, right.
All right. So I don't even know. I didn't even get all the information. And Silicon Valley Bank went belly up.
Okay.
And there was a bank run, and they closed the bank. So people always talk about the $250,000
FDIC.
FDIC,
Yeah.
and it's funny because I laugh at it. I mean, you know those lollipops that they give you,
The suckers, yes.
right? No, well, suckers, or what's the other thing they called?
Dum-dums.
Dum-dums, right? So if you put your money in a bank, you are a
Dum-dum.
or a
Sucker.
right. So if you're dumb enough to keep more than $250,000 in a bank, and your bank goes bankrupt, and the FDIC gives you $250,000, well, good for you. I mean, I can't even believe that people do it. But there's so many more important and better places you can put your money than in a
but
bank.
you have to forget that you forget that people aren't taught this stuff. I never knew about any of this stuff until I came to the school or I started doing some of this investment stuff. My parents didn't know about any of this stuff,
Of
and they
course.
certainly didn't teach me any of it.
Of course, and that's why we're here. That's what happened to me. What happened to me, I knew nothing about money, and I learned it all. And as I started learning it, I was like, "Wow, this is intense, and it's easy." I mean, look, we got Bob from Burlington reads my book for $20 and learns how to do all this stuff that I teach. I mean,
I think it's great though. That's
yeah,
really
exactly.
cool. Yeah, that's great.
And these are stuff. I mean, the book right here, money hacks, right? Because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and it tells you flat out that everything you've been taught is wrong. And the funny part is, most people take advice from people who are broke.
Yeah.
Right? So if they're broke, why are you taking advice from them? If anybody came to me who's broke who gives me money advice, you know what I think? I say thank you.
You know what I thought was really
Wait,
funny?
let me tell you why I say thank you, because
Okay.
you cut me off. I say thank you because now I know exactly what not to do. But hold on, we got David too. We got David in Westchester. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, I had a question. I was wondering what you thought about, you could tell me the pros and cons of investing in the aristocrat dividend stocks.
Is that a fund? Or are you talking
No,
about a
there's
class
a
of
list
funds? You're talking about a class of funds. Okay, yeah, okay.
Well, it's not a fund. It's
Cla-
there's this list
I'm
of
sorry,
stocks
class of
that
stocks,
has
right.
always paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always paid dividends for at least 25 years, and they call them aristocrat.
Okay.
It's aristocrat list of these dividend stocks. They've always paid a dividend over the past 25 years, and I think they may have always maybe had an increase too. And I just was
Sure.
wondering if there's any cons. I mean, it seems like a simple thing to do. Just pick the ones with the best dividends. But I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
It's better than putting it in Silicon Valley Bank. Nobody laughed at that. You
Yeah,
didn't
what were
laugh.
your
He
thoughts
didn't
on
laugh.
what
Nobody
happened
laughed.
It wasn't
there,
funny. I don't laugh at your non-funny jokes. I only laugh at your funny jokes.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal. So look, you can get dividends anywhere from 1%. I mean, less than 1%, but 1% to 8% or more, right? Depending on what company you're in. And these are good. There's nothing wrong with it. You throw your money into a stock and you collect the dividends, and it's a great idea if that's what you want to do. It's no different. Well, it is different, but I mean, it's like when we borrow money. Sometimes we'll borrow money. We'll give money to somebody like yourself. We'll give them 8% on a loan. Let's say you lend me $200,000. I give you 8%. The difference between what we're doing and what the stock is doing is, the loan to us, or the loan to a real estate investor, I should really say, is it's guaranteed by the property. Can the property value go down? Yes, but the property value will never go to zero. Right, you can get a stock like GM stock in 2006 and 7. GM is not the same company it was in 2006 and 7. It's a completely different company. In 2006 and 7, it went bankrupt, completely bankrupt. Anybody who had stock or bonds in GM was beat. They lost their money. Yeah. So that's something that could happen. And GM was given a great dividend for many years, and is now again. So most likely that's not going to happen. but it can happen. It's just most likely not going to happen. So yeah, so I mean, if you have a substantial amount of money and you're getting dividends off your stock, it's fine. It's just another way to make money. I don't know if I would do that alone though. I would do it, maybe diversify and do some other things as well. And I also like the idea if you got dividend stocks to sell the covered calls, because now you're making extra money. I don't know if you're familiar with that strategy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that. I guess I got to get your book.
You might want to pick that one up. You might, just thinking about it.
So
you might want to pick it up.
Yeah, so I will tell you, the book talks about it, but to really learn covered calls, you really got to come to class. Just ask Bob.
You're terrible.
But yeah, you got
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you in class. We'll tell you more about that. But I think that's a better play is to buy dividend paying stocks and sell the covered calls, and then you probably make twice as much money, or 3 times as much money as what the dividend's giving you by selling the covered calls at no risk.
Okay, great. Thanks for your help.
You got it, man. All right, 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. All right, Deb, where were we?
I was going to talk about, I forget, we were talking to somebody one day, and you had asked me if I had like a $5 bill or a $10 bill or something, and I pull out my wallet, and all I had was a $100 bill. And then you open yours, and all you had was a $100 bill.
Yeah.
And then you made some crack to the guy and said, when you become a millionaire, that's all you carry around is a $100 bill. So it was just kind of funny, because I forget what you were talking about, but it would have lended really nicely into that until you completely, shut me down and talked about the bank,
Well, I had to let David. I mean, David was on the phone. How long? He might go off the phone, and we won't be able to talk to him.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, I'm right here.
He might tell me how great my book is.
He might. It doesn't seem like he got the book, but maybe next time, he'll buy it.
Yeah, we were talking about broke people and how broke people always
That's
give
what
advice.
it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's the truth. It's funny. It's funny. Broke people always give advice. I mean, I'm talking to somebody, and I'm not gonna say who he was, but it's actually somebody that I like. I don't know if I respect, but I like him, right? And he's trying to sell me some Bitcoin Forex trading multi-level marketing scheme, right?
Okay.
And it's funny because I'm trying to get him down to what he, where he's going to say, nah, this is probably a bad idea. Okay. But I'm not doing that yet. I'm just trying to see. And he gave me this presentation for an hour yesterday.
Wow.
Which, I don't let anybody do that to me.
I'm surprised, yeah.
actually,
Especially on Bitcoin. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and the only reason I did it was because I wanted to see what's out there. Because there's always these multi-level marketing companies. Look, I'm a fan of multi-level marketing. I'm a fan of multi-level marketing that sells shampoo and soap. Okay, because shampoo and soap, the absolute worst thing that happened is you paid too much for your shampoo and soap.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to get hurt. Right? But if you get a multi-level marketing company selling Bitcoin or NFTs or Forex trading, and it's a multi-level marketing company, the odds are not only are you going to lose your initial investment, but the odds are you're going to hurt a lot of other people along
in
the
the
way.
process, yeah.
So I'm just not a big fan of it. So I really wanted to hear it because of that. I wanted to hear what he had to say and how he was presenting it. And honestly, I didn't understand one word he said. And when somebody does that, when I can't understand one word they say, it bothers me.
Yeah.
So then I actually said, "What did you just say?" And he laughed. He goes, "Want me to do the whole thing again?" I'm like, "No." But he did say something, and as soon as anybody does this, I'm skeptical, right? If I gave him $20,000, I would get 4.16% every week interest on my $20,000. That's like $1,600 a month. So I said,
and he guaranteed that?
No, see, that's the thing. I said, when you guarantee that, I'll do it. Oh no, it's guaranteed. All these people are doing it. All these people are doing it. I said, okay, give me one sentence in your text message that says you will get $1,600 a month for $20,000, and I will send you $20,000.
Okay.
And just because I know, first of all,
he's not going to do
he
that.
He can't even say that. Yeah. It's illegal.
Yeah, he can't do that.
So here we are. We're already crossing SEC boundaries. And I talk to people about this all the time, about money and how money works and the things you can say, things you can't say. I mean, I've owned funds. I've talked to people with funds. I know the fund rules. And this is not a fund. It's a multi-level marketing company, which is even worse. And he gave me some outrageous claims, and that's fine. I mean, they may be real. He may have made as much money as he did enrolling people into the MLM.
Yeah.
But I'm also skeptical because even if he is paying that $1,600 a month, I have a funny feeling that's also off of enrollments.
Okay.
Which makes it a Ponzi scheme.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll find out more, but I always tell people caution yourself. And look, we do this too with students in investor schooling. So they'll come to us, hey, this guy's got this, and this, and I'll say, look, run it by me. Run it by me, and let's look at it objectively. I mean, you're really excited about it. I don't know anything about it. Let's talk about it. And let's look at it objectively. And I don't say, oh, you should never do that. I didn't even say this. You should never do that. I just said it doesn't sound great to me. It doesn't sound real to me. But if it turns out to be real, hey, I'll give somebody $20,000 to give me $1,600. Matter of fact, I'll give them $200,000, give me $16,000 a month, and I don't have to be on the radio anymore. I'll still be on the radio. But you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff where you just got to be really careful what people are selling, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. That's why that's some of the stuff we teach. Like when we teach how to borrow money from other people for investment properties, we teach you to make sure that the person that you're borrowing money from is safe.
Yeah.
Because they'll lend money to you again.
Yeah.
If you do a great job, they'll lend money to you again, and they'll lend money to you again and again and again and again. And you need to know where the risk is. Where's the risk? The risk is that they won't pay you back. But if you have the right property, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got lenders that wish I wouldn't pay them back because they would make so much more money if I don't pay them back. And that's also something we teach too, is how to lend money, how to borrow money. All right, what else we got here? 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. So what's up with you, Glenn? I haven't spoken to you in like a couple of weeks.
Well, hold on. It looks like you have a fan here on.
We have
on
a fan.
Facebook.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah. Good to
Colin
see your
has said,
cute
"Good
face.
to see your cute face, Mr. Larry."
I think that's with a heart too.
With a heart, yeah.
With a heart, I think that's great.
That's pretty good, Colin. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with that.
I just think it's interesting. Just kind of caught my attention.
I think it's more interesting that you pointed it out and I ignored it.
I just think it's funny. It makes me laugh.
It makes you laugh. Which part? Did Colin said it, or that there's a heart there?
That he said that you're cute with the heart. So it makes me,
Aw.
It's funny. I just think it just made me laugh. Usually you get that from.
It couldn't be a cute girl. It has to be Colin.
I think that's what it is. I think it's because it's Colin and not like a woman. I think that's what's throwing me off about that.
I know. Look, first of all, wait. Let me see. Everybody says hi to you, and they're all men. And the only person who says hi to me is a man.
Well, because I'm more fun to talk to. That's all. Everybody.
I certainly. By the way, if you come to investor schooling, talk to Debbie. Don't talk to me.
There you go.
No, you can talk to me anytime you want, but I promise you that Debbie will be nicer to you.
Absolutely. No, that'll be great.
I like that she told you she doesn't laugh at your jokes when they're not funny.
Oh, she does that all the time.
I like that.
She does that all the time. Oh, look, now
it's
Linda.
not funny. I'm not laughing.
No, Linda chimed in and said he is cute.
There you go.
Wait, so you think Colin's cute? Really?
It's all good. It's all good.
I know. Now we're having our own little thing here. The people in the car are going, "This is so boring."
Oh, yeah.
I wish they'd get to something important now.
All right.
What should we get to?
I can tell you about somebody came to look at the place yesterday.
Yes. Okay.
And she was so off her rocker.
Oh, that's always fun.
She was so off her rocker. It was unreal. Like when she called me on the phone, she ended up crying, telling me about this and that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just kind of blew it off. And then she shows up in an Uber. Her car drives away. And we're like, okay.
Oh, no.
She walks in the door. She has this black eye that she's covered up in makeup.
Oh, boy.
And then she's like in tears practically. I really need this place. I really need. It was so. I felt terrible. And then she starts crying in person. And then she's telling me about how she's not taking her medication because it numbs her. And I'm floored because I didn't even know how to get her out of the place.
Oh.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
It was true. And then she had to take an Uber home. She asked us if we'd give her a ride, and I'm no. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, did I upset you? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. But she was just in tears. Then she's telling me about her fiance who will be back and he can pay for this. And then her daughter. And then somebody stole her wallet at the place she's living at. She's just giving me all these reasons why I need to let her move into the apartment. It was just really...
That's not good.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I did, and the most important one she couldn't give you, which is she has the money to pay for it, right?
She had money. She wanted my PayPal account, and I'm like, I don't really do that.
No.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I don't really do that.
No.
But it was so. I actually started having her fill the paperwork just so I can get her out. It
Really?
was that. It was that bad.
Yeah, I mean that's when I look at her. Go, hey, I gotta go now. See ya.
It was bizarre. She was bizarre. It was really bizarre.
Yeah. So now you're scaring everybody off of rentals. Thanks a lot.
No, it was the first time ever in 5 years I've ever had anything like that happen.
Yeah, and usually it's nothing bad. I mean, I have a crazy tenant right now who I'm asking to leave.
Yeah.
Because she's crazy, and he's gonna leave quietly. Apparently, we'll see.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get you crazy. I mean, I've been doing this for 42 years, and I have stories, and none of them are terrible.
Well,
none of them are terrible.
She's not renting the place.
Right, exactly.
She
right.
was just applying.
Right. Now, here's the thing. The problem would have been that a newbie investor who doesn't know what they're doing would rent to her.
No.
And that's where you have a problem.
Yeah.
That's where it's a major problem. You do not rent to somebody like that. If you feel bad, if you don't feel good about the tenant, you don't have to give a reason that you're not renting.
Yeah.
You just say no. This is not for you.
Yeah.
And if they ask you why, I said, I don't have to tell you.
Okay.
The worst thing you do is tell them. I mean, my whole thing about the $500, or now I made it $1,000 even. When I do $1,000 deposit, first person to bring me $1,000 deposit gets the apartment, and then I run a credit check with you. To me, that self-eliminates everybody. It self-eliminates the people who are crazy. That woman doesn't have $1,000.
It wouldn't have mattered if she did.
Right. Okay.
It wouldn't have mattered if she did.
There you go. Right.
It was just, but that was a once in a lifetime so far for me anyway that I've ever dealt with anybody that just off their rocker. So.
Yeah, but the other thing that $1,000 does is it makes sure that woman can't come back to you and say you discriminated against her. That's why I do it. The way I do it, because they're not giving you $1,000. That I know, because I've seen it every time. The crazy ones, they don't come up with money.
Okay.
The funny part is they actually lie about how much money they have.
Well, she said she had it, and I didn't even matter. I didn't.
Okay, great.
I didn't.
Write your check.
Just her story was just really
unbelievable. Yeah.
It was just amazing. Like, it really surprised me. I was not expecting that at all.
So there are a lot of interesting stories out there. And if you're a landlord out there, give us a call. Tell us about your story. 855-939-1137. Or if you have a question about landlording, or if you have a tenant problem, give me a call. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. All right. I'm going to talk real quick about the stock market. You know why?
It's all you.
No, but you know what? That's not why.
Why is that? Why do you want to talk about the stock market?
Because it's about to get good again.
Okay.
Now, it's been a bad couple of weeks, which is normal. And you've been watching me and the stock option consultant every week.
Yeah, you've been coming out with more texts now. Yeah.
And did I actually predict it perfectly?
Yeah, you're pretty good at that. I have to give you credit.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit for that one.
Right, I was dead on. I predicted exactly what was going to happen in the last 2 weeks, and I was dead on. I mean, maybe I wasn't dead on to the day, but I was dead on to the actual facts of what was going to happen.
It's starting to come around again, I think.
So now what's going to happen is next week we're going to start to see probably 2 or 3 more days next week. I don't know which 2 or 3. It could be any of them. We'll have a couple bad days, and then all of a sudden we're going to have some good days again.
Okay.
And we're going to have and then we're going to go into earnings season, and things are going to get good again, unless we hit a bad earnings day. But that's fine. That's pretty common. So we're going to start to see the stock market coming back again. So if you think now is the time to buy. Now I'm buying stuff again, like CCL. I actually bought some the other day. I bought it right around 10.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a good play. There are some people out there who they got burned. I got burned with it because I didn't think it would ever fall below 13.
I'm surprised you bought it actually.
But I bought it again because I'm actually watching this. I'm watching the pattern. And it looks like it's going to go back to 13, 10 to 13, 10 to 13, 10 to 13 for a little while.
Okay.
And then I'll play it, and I'll get out at 10. I'll get out about 13, maybe 12 and a half. I'll buy it back at 10, do it again. So real quick, Mike is actually, this is for you. What do you think about the market up in Wilkes-Barre?
In terms of what, buying or renting?
I don't know. Hey, Mike, why don't you call and ask a real question, because there's so many questions to your question that we don't know what the question is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond.
Mike, give us a call, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and we can try to help you with that, because we're not sure what you mean. I don't know if you're buying properties there. I don't know what section of Wilkes-Barre. I don't know. You wrote Wilkesboro, which is not really what it is. It's Wilkes-Barre.
It's Wilkes-Barre, yeah.
Yeah, so it might be that the spell check came in and fixed it, or you might know something about Wilkesboro that we have no idea what it is. So give us a call, 855-939-1137. All right, I'm sorry. So we were talking about the stock market. We're also seeing crypto falling again, of course, because it hit 23,000, and that's about top of where it should go. I still see it. It may not hit 12 now. I still see it going to 14 now. And gold also is dropping. So gold is back to 1819, and of course silver's back to 21. I really want silver to pop. I have a whole bunch of silver. And in the bond market, so the bonds actually hit 4. They hit around 4%. When they hit 4%, that's when the market starts to tank. And I think that'll happen again in a little while. But we're all right. We got Kay in New Jersey. She's a landlord with some questions. What's up, Kay?
Yeah. Hi, how you doing?
All right.
My question is, have you had any experience in civil court with a tenant where they've done extensive damages?
Oh. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what happened in your case?
Most recently, well, I normally take photos of all my properties as the tenants are moving in.
Right.
And I had those photos. And the damages were accruing, so I started with the eviction, got the eviction, saw the overall damages, and sued civilly. And what happened in court, I think I had a liberal judge, my first experience. My photos of what the property looked like when they took possession versus what they presented were photos that weren't time-stamped, and they brought photos of the damages as they were occurring. But all unreported to me as a landlord.
All right, so the first question is, how much are the damages?
About $10,000.
Was it vandalism, or was it just, they're just slobs and a complete mess ups?
A little of both. It was also a rental where pets weren't permitted. Smoking wasn't permitted.
Okay.
Both occurred.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of floor damage and cleanup there, and subflooring cleaning, replacing carpeting, et cetera, damaged woodwork and doors.
Yeah, so that's not vandalism. That's just really nasty tenants.
Yeah.
So the lesson you learned, actually, I like what you do. You take the pictures, you have them sign those pictures.
Oh, that's an idea.
Or you have them stand there next. You say, "Get in the picture. I'm taking a picture of this wall. Get in the bedroom. I'm taking a picture of the wall. Get in the kitchen. I'm taking a picture of you in this. This is the day you're signing a lease." Or you print them. You have them sign it. Or what Philadelphia does is they actually do something called a suitability.
Rental suitability.
Yeah, rental suitability paper or contract, and it actually says that the place is in good shape and the landlord and the tenant agrees to it, which might not be a bad idea for you. The weird part is Philadelphia makes you do it, but it might actually be a really good idea for you to do it. So that might work for you if you wanted to do that. Look, I've had this happen before. I know I've had this happen before where the tenants are just complete mess ups, and I just move on with it. Did these people pay their rent on time?
No, they were also in arrears frequently. That's a good suggestion as far as initialing the photos and dating from the tenant. Also, I wonder if because I have a CO inspection coming up. We just refurbished the unit. Wondering if I could get the city to make a notation of some sort.
You can, but you got to remember that they may not have moved in the day the guy was there. So they could claim that they didn't, which is basically what happened here. You know what I found? I found when I take tenants to court for things like this, it doesn't matter if I win or lose. I never recover. So I don't even bother. I just look at it and go, whatever.
That's
whatever.
the sad part.
Yeah, I go, whatever. I move on.
The sad part.
Yeah, I renovate the property and I move on. I mean, I just did one where I rented a place that I bought. I bought it 3 or 4 years ago. I rented a place, and it's funny. I actually believe this woman was a prostitute, and it was a whole mess. But she always paid her rent on time, right? And then she finally moves out because we got to the point where you can't be in here anymore, and she moves out voluntarily. She moves out, and then I go in there, and the place was so disgusting. I mean, I don't know how anybody could live like this, but I look at that and I go, you know what? And it cost me $30,000 to renovate the place. I was going to renovate it anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I look at the place and I go, if this person lives like this, that's my revenge. I don't need anything more to know that this person is such a low life, that this is the way they live. Right. I don't care, but and then if they make that decision, I know it's terrible, when it happens, and and the people move out and it looks terrible. You had one like that.
Yeah, just
yeah.
a little while ago.
We just had this conversation about one of yours, Deb.
Yeah.
Where you had somebody move out. It was like a couple of grand worth of damage. I said, who cares?
Yeah.
Just don't rent it to people like that again. And that's all you can do, Kay. The fact that you lost in court is weird, but at the same time, you never would have recovered anyway.
Yeah, I was debating whether or not to pursue it.
What's that?
The thing of it is, the defendant had like a 20-minute private session with the mediator. The whole feigning spell, and this is too much on me, and blah blah blah. I had 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I couldn't even present my data.
I mean, you could certainly appeal it. You could certainly appeal it, but what are you going to get? Let's reverse it. You won.
I agree.
She owes you $10,000. Now you're never going to get it. All right. Anyway, my apologies. We have to move on to the next person, but good luck with it. Come out and see us. Anyway, we got Mike and Ivan Lane. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Larry. I was the one that called about the Wilkes-Barre thing.
Oh, okay, cool. So tell me about tell me about it.
Okay. It's not my property. It's my son's girlfriend's property. It's her house that she owns.
Okay.
So she moved in with my son up in the Poconos to his house, and they're putting that up for sale. And I tried to talk him into, why don't you try renting it out for like a traveling nurse or something like that? And they're dead set against it because it has a steam heating system in it.
Okay.
The house is nice. It's not modernized, but it's a very livable house.
All right.
Would you just sell it like they want to do, or would I keep trying to talk them into?
Here's my suggestion to you as a parent. You ready? Wow, that's really great what you do. And I think that's awesome. Keep it up. All right. Okay, that's it.
Yep.
Okay. When my son tells me, 5 years ago when he's buying his first house, hey, Dad, let me tell you how to get a mortgage. And I looked at him and I'm like, okay, son, go ahead. Tell me how to get a mortgage. I mean, really, I could tell you, son, how to get a house without a mortgage. But if that's what you want to do, that's fine. So your kid is always right, and all you have to do is just say, hey, that's awesome, and good luck with that. If you need help, let me know. Don't try to guide your kid's life with good advice, even if it's good advice. It may be good, it may be bad. It could be good advice, and unless they're asking for it, just say, hey, that's great. You get it?
Thank you very much.
You got it, man. Hopefully, maybe I'll see you in what is it? What's the name of the donut? What's the name of the donut place? What's the name of the donut place on Street Road? Oh well, forget it.
I don't know.
No, I thought Mike was still on anyway. All right, well, Glenn, I totally appreciate you as always. You were awesome. You make this place rock. All right, I want to thank Dr. Deb for hanging out with us again.
Hey, everybody.
And of course, everybody wants to go to investorschooling.com. You can't get all the information out of the book. You got to go to investorschooling.com. Go to investorschooling.com. We'll see you guys on Thursday night. Thanks so much. Take care.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
You are clear.
Thanks, man.
Solely those of investors.
Thank you so much. I got to run.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Thank you.
WPH HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The following is a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
On the Penn State Sports Network.
Hey, Larry, you still there?
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can win. You might as well.
You buy Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, Highmark Blue Shield, MI Windows and Doors, PA Propane, Penn State Bookstore, Penn State Health, Pennsylvania Lottery, Pepsi, PSECU, SRS Distribution, Quality Plus Ford, us, and by Wise Markets. Now, here's Steve Jones and Dick Girardi.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the United Center in Chicago in the Big Ten semifinals, as today the Nittany Lion basketball team takes on Indiana.